Hi, my name's Ali Lockwood. I'm Head of Schools here at Alva Valley Schools, and today we're going to talk to you about the Thrive approach and how we've implemented it in our school.
Hello, my name is Sarah Kitcher. I'm the Deputy Senko, Behaviour and Pastoral Lead and also a Thrive practitioner at Alva Valley Schools.
We launched Thrive approach at Alva Valley Schools at a key point in our school development. Myself and the Executive Head Teacher, Jill Rosebate, had already been in post for about 2.5 years, and we'd already done lots of work in the school around behaviour policy, being really clear in our expectations around behaviour and also developing our positive learning behaviours using the 6 strands. We were also making strides in our special educational needs provision, taking a much more strategic approach, working closely with families and agencies to ensure children's needs were being met. At that point in our school, we had 4 trained ELSAs on staff. But for us, the intervention wasn't really having the impact that we wanted, particularly for our pupils with SEND, special educational needs, with SEMH or social emotional mental health needs, and for those with attachment needs. It was at this point that we decided, after much research, to implement the Thrive approach at Alva Valley Schools. Thrive approach is a dynamic, developmental, trauma-sensitive approach to meeting the emotional and social needs of children and young people.
Thrive is informed by theories of neuroscience and what we understand about the brain, how it functions and develops through childhood, and also child development and attachment theories. There are many similarities to other known attachment approaches, such as the resources from Beacon House. The Thrive framework explores the emotional regulation system, considering the stages of physiological regulation, relational emotional regulation, and cognitive regulation. These align to the first 3 stages of the Thrive model, which is being, which is 0 to 6 months, doing, 6 to 18 months, and thinking, 18 months to 3 years. These stages would usually relate to the first 3 years of life in right time development, but a child with interrupted development would be working at a level different to their chronological age. Some children in Key Stage 1 and at times in early Key Stage 2 have been assessed working in the first 3 levels within our setting.
The Thrive model gives a clear explanation of the different stages and what right time or interrupted behaviour looks like in a child. It also explains what the adult role, approach and teaching strategies should be at each stage. The model then goes on to explore levels of power and identity, where right time development would be 3 to 7 years, skills and structure, where right time development is 7 to 11 years, and interdependence, where right time development is 11 to 18 years old. Again, key learning at each stage is exemplified along with the adult role in developing the skills and activities suggested to support this.
Thrive training also focuses on the stress response system, how we can go about shining a light on behaviour, triggers and hooks for adults, the mindsets that exist for those with poor or positive emotional regulation.
So Thrive has an assessment screening tool called Thrive Online. This tool allows you to assess a child or a group or even a class in a time-effective manner. And it then flags up children who may benefit from additional support, and it pinpoints where they are working within the Thrive framework and the key aspects or targets to work on. Thrive also helps us to identify children that could be easily missed, who may present with withdrawn or with surface level engagement. From this assessment, you can then create an action plan for the child or the group or the whole class as appropriate. Thrive Online also has a bank of suggested activities which can be implemented by Thrive practitioners or other staff, which can then be done at a group or class level.
Fundamental to the Thrive approach is an emphasis on relational skills. Again, these align with the Beacon House resources and the idea that we first relate to and attempt to understand the child's perspective and their point of view before we correct. Thrive uses the model of the vital relational functions to encourage adults to connect with children who are struggling to regulate or are in distress. Those vital relational functions are attune, validate, containment, and soothing.
So let's talk about the impact to date for Alva Valley Schools. We have found that training all staff with an introduction to the Thrive framework, and then specifically in the use of the vital relational functions, has been transformative in terms of changing adult perspectives of behaviour and their understanding of the child. It has also changed how staff approach children in the moment.
We've explored the use of Thrive in conjunction with Forest Schools as a way of identifying the children that would benefit from additional sessions in the Forest School and to inform what we wanted to achieve in these sessions.
Informed by assessments in Power and Identity, we have addressed children's social skills through some focused lunchtime groups in groups of children in Year 4 and 5, where children needed to improve the way they understood each other, related to each other and communicated with each other. We have also used more traditional Thrive groups to support children across the various levels of the framework. We no longer practice ELSA as a school. We do have more specific provision developing for groups of pupils, which is proving to have great impact along with our Thrive groups. So along with our Thrive groups, we also have young carers, we have our service families group, we run groups such as sensory circuits for particular children, and we also have a group for children that have a diagnosis of ASD, helping them to understand and learn strategies to help them. The rationale for these groups is that children benefit from knowing that they are not alone and from learning from each other in similar positions. They need to have their specific needs addressed and met, and fundamentally to know that they truly belong.
We're going to leave you with some key considerations. As with any strategy, policy or intervention, success will be influenced by the consistency in implementation and the extent to which they are focused on addressing the specific areas of need. Accuracy in assessment, understanding the principles and careful planning with responsive teaching that shines a light on behaviour is key.
For any school improvement at Alva Valley Schools, we try to consider carefully what is the whole school level, what is the class or group level of an approach, and what is the individual level, as we know that another tag-on intervention will probably not make the difference in our experience. To find out more about Alva Valley Schools and our approach, then please do visit our school website, where you will find much more information about the various aspects we have talked to you about today. Specifically, our special educational needs page, our SEND page, has lots of information about our approach there. Our Spotlight articles have lots of information about how we've implemented various strategies, such as our personal development curriculum, hooks into books, 6 strands. You'll also find sections for young carers, for Thrive, and much more. To find out more about Thrive, you can also go online and find the Thrive website. Thanks for watching.